First time I'm place you mission up here. And really same also. Okay, house long we been stable here. We been located here. Now sometimes we stop about this like distance now. Sometimes not this like half. Okay, behind now, what I walk lost looking we blah. Bagra we blah shift him now walking can. That place. Now sit down up. Long time I'm shifting can. So we blah walk move at the same time. Second time we blah go here you go second time and we blah been shift na all man we blah separate place blah we blah here. We blah tu we blah go side blah we blah all ground blah we blah. Na sambla family tu only go ground blah. So we blah sit down one ground blah we blah here. So we blah walk shifting we go now we blah come up close to sit down backside straight what them success.
We are a very small community, and over time I've seen the changes that have taken place in here, which has really, affected the livelihoods of the people, the way they live and all those years up until now. And I've seen really a big change, very big change. There are about 1,155 people living here in Karama. And the everyday life of the people go to the sea, they also go to the garden and go hunting also. So most of their lives, they just live normal village life.
Ira upa sua be pessoal ve na oti eri oti hei furo ve oti me te karikara iri ve sabu andau ve tura fa e o va fa with the freka mavi e karikara hei karikara koro ko fero vat ko sua ve pessoal iti si kwet ma karikara ale ro ke hofa ko faka makuri te ka oti me ta ko faka taka ira upa ve pitu te bore te ira hei o boro hei ri pivia ve Wiji ko mai.
No, that was a very new issue for the whole community here, because people never know about these climate changes. The rising of the sea level, and some islands in the Pacific are sinking, but nothing really gave us the thought of either to move up or remain here.
Because of our village, we keep on living in this village. Nature is perfect, but I will blame man. Man does not manage this world properly, so they destroy the forest.
I've really felt that I should do something, and I should do it urgently and quickly and to look for some help. So I went to the Office of Climate Change and I spoke to them about what is actually happening in the village.
Morgan came to the office about the climate change issue in the village. We came firstly for a fact-finding. We went to the other side to our primary school and we met with the villagers on the other side.
Last year, these people made an attempt to come and see us and try to educate the people here so that they can see there's changes coming in for these climate changes.
There are many effects on crops, and in coastal communities in particular, saltwater intrusion is a big problem, or saltwater inundation. And saltwater intrusion affects the groundwater, and as we all know, plants get their water from the soil. And so when plant starts to take up more salt, it has to find a way of removing it, and that means to double the energy involved in removing the salt. So if it puts so much energy into removing the salt, it becomes dehydrated, and there is less energy put into the process of photosynthesis required to make the food. Therefore, you find that the fruits of the plants, particularly the banana, in Karama's case, are reduced in size.
So we had three options. The first one was we asked the people, the community, if they could do seawall, but they said no. Seawall was not a possibility because if the seawall is put in front of the village here to stop the rise in sea level, it will really disturb the everyday life of the people. And then the next option, we asked them if we could relocate the people to much higher ground, which they did not also agree.
Arab sempre suave. Mara volare elipse si rovi per work. Kai petuara karwe. So araba ma mervo ka hukipi oti de hiaeva ti ja otika. Firuka. Na papi ke rolo baka ni oti veja kai petuara. Karama ni mai. Sala sempre so bakari kar hukipi Maria bavi arhai susuka.
And the culture and the belief and the customs, traditions of the people remains on this land, particularly on this land. Sacred is sacred to them, So we gave them the third option, which is mangrove reforestation, to plant mangroves. And they all agreed that we should plant mangroves.
Come now to planting mipla lo how lo planting mangroves so that we will prevent the soil from erosion of the salt water. So toki mipla osem mipla mas running misla pilot project lo mangroves lo place so that mipla school land by helping our community na mipla by walk boom one time so that by me cutting down some plak panemia forces blow waves.
There are 4 types of species, and there are 4 types of species. They are all in their different types of layers, grown in different types of layers. This one, Rhizophora stylosa, is the first layer that will be the in front. Those are the ones that are strong holders because they've got stilt roots.
An advantage of the Rhizophora species as well is that it is readily available during the year. So if you want to start a reforestation project or do replanting in, say, a month's time, seeds are always available throughout the year. Another advantage of this particular species as well is that it grows in the front line, and it has a high tolerance for salinity, as well as its architecture is able to absorb wave energy.
But the beauty about mangroves is that especially in some species, they have a tendency to put out lots of roots. So they, the tree is standing here, but you see lots of roots, they go out, and what that creates is that it creates an obstruction. So if there's a water moving this direction, transporting sediments, eroded material, maybe sand and mud, they're moving with the current, and having the roots forming a sort of an obstructive barrier, it actually slows down the current. And that allows the sand particles or even mud to fall off in the water column, and then they will deposit. And in the effect of that is actually it builds the shoreline. And so I think that's where mangroves, they think, is a better candidate, especially because of their rooting. So talking about Karama, not more on the sand part of it, I think mangroves won't be a good candidates here. I think right at the back of the village,
But what we are doing mangrove is actually to like a buffer zone for them. When they move this, when the sea is here, the mangrove will be acting like a buffer zone for them. So if they move inland, further inland, that mangrove might help them from further eroding further in.
In the next years or few times later on, there will be a big nursery. I think we will have a greenhouse next time after this, because this is the small one we made, so this is the first time to make this. So after planting all this, we might have greenhouse.
But the technology is not high-tech. Anybody who's planted up plants and who's done a nursery will know it is basic principles of agriculture is all in there. But the trick is that mangrove plants are more sensitive and they grow in a very, very harsh environment.
We have faith. We have faith that we want to protect this land. All the time we always have to pray for this land. And by faith we can protect it.
I think they know the importance of mangroves, what mangroves can do to be a barrier from storm surges and high tides. So I think they've seen that over the years when there were mangroves here, you know.
One of our roles is to facilitate a coordinated approach into implementing many of our pilot projects that are done. So Karama's case is no different. Like in many other countries, mainstreaming climate change agenda into core national development goals is a priority, and that requires a prerequisite of mainstreaming climate change agenda into any national development plans and policies is a strong political will, and the government of Papua New Guinea has displayed that it has a strong political will.
Mr. Speaker, climate change is a concern for our country, for our government, and for our people, and it's a concern that is gaining momentum worldwide in so far as development issues are concerned. So, Mr. Speaker, climate change is a cross-cutting issue, and that needs to be addressed in line with our development aspirations. So, on the one hand, we are talking about moving forward to achieve the positive growth. On the one hand, we need to look at our environment central to the policy that we are developing, and it will be soon tabled in cabinet in the next week or so. Centerpiece of the policy and also the legislation that will follow through is how we want to deal with the effects of it.
At the same time, the government of Papua New Guinea has approved ADB to review its fiduciary modalities, and ADB has signed off on a new mechanism to channel climate change funding, and have given financial confidence in the government of Papua New Guinea to set up a climate change trust fund. And those are the results of political will from the highest levels of the government.
I papakaru da suka na mai reite. Ira iro i kita i vera hei kai mai vea. Ara i pira ora da bere i betere tu i. Ro bara do fukaru ro. Ara u pata holo holo re. Pi aro toro misi te kibere. Olu tibi kare, da fulbai kare, tutu bori tu tera ba ubi a vedi rare. Bia ba suka i. Ara de biti a misi e fulbai kai ro vi nei metere.
I do surely believe that in future the mangrove reforestation project will help the village up and young coming generations. As what Motol village, the project I presume will spread to other surrounding villages as well.
Yes, there is hope. If the Karama people take this initiative to fully implement the mangrove project, I believe it should sustain the future generation.
if they don't intervene now, it's about almost 1 year, they're losing a meter of the coastline. So the coastline is shifting about 1 meter towards land.
I know that it will increase food security, especially when we plant mangroves, because it brings all the different kind of species to come and take cover and also repopulate. And also see that in the 5 to 10 years time, it's like people will be moving. They'll be moving, so we cannot really do much about what is happening, but we can do what we can do. I believe there's hope for the Karama people. I really felt the need to really address this issue at the village level, because that's where the impact is mostly felt in the village.